going on, guys? Brandon over here at Geek Talk, and today I have some news involving Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, there are people out there, we all come across them through our walks of life. Just crazy fucking people that just want to bitch and complain and shit on everybody's parade. And never mind the facts that back up certain things that we come across in life. Never mind the truth. Never mind reality. They want to live in this mysterious, made-up, fictional world. Now, we're going to go to this article, but before we get started, I want to just say, Francis Ngannou, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. That dude is fucking insane. Did anybody watch UFC 260? I'm recording this right after, and that man is a horrifying human being. The sweetest guy you'll ever hear talk, but good God, he is. John Jones, you got your hands full. You really do. I think you're going to pull it off, but hey, I thought that about Stipe. So, Francis, enjoy the heavyweight championship of the world. Dana White, you got a superstar in your hands. Now, let's go over to this article. Zack Snyder's Justice League is proof the Snyder Verse shouldn't be restored. Now, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to spit. All of you take that in for just a second. Think of how crazy that headline sounds. Okay, now we're going to read this article. We're going to get into the depth of it and just see what the fuck these lunatics are talking about. It's no surprise that with a vast portion of fans who demanded Zack Snyder's Justice League be released, pleased, they'd then lobby for Warner Bros. To restore the Snyderverse. After all, this version is confirmation that the studio and Joss Whedon worked together to sabotage what Snyder laid down before the project. However, after soaking in every bit of this 4-hour-long epic, this film is proof Snyder's vision shouldn't be continued. Now, this little, let me see if I can highlight this. This little line right here. After all, this version is confirmation that the studio and Joss Whedon worked together to sabotage what Snyder laid down before the project. This, my friends, this is the only line that's going to make any fucking sense in this whole article. Sure, there are some redeeming moments in the movie, most of which are centered around Cyborg's family and his eventual robotic turn and Diana's Amazons getting a fuller arc tied to Darkseid's invasion. But other than that, there's not much here that will put the DC Extended Universe anywhere near Marvel Studios, which is nailing everything it puts out. This very little paragraph right here, okay. Name one time, maybe besides Wonder Woman and Shazam, and I guess you could argue Aquaman, 3 movies, okay, questionable, two are great movies. Shazam and Wonder Woman, great movies, okay? Wonder Woman 84, shit. But name one time since DC has been releasing these films that anybody thought they could compete with Marvel. I'll wait. There's not one time. Not one time. And I just listed 2 great movies. Not one time has anybody thought that they could compete with Marvel. Possibly, except after the moment Snyder's version of the Justice League was released. I have yet to see this much excitement for any other DCEU movie outside of Snyder Cut. People are excited about this shit. People cannot wait and are hoping that there is future things coming out involving this franchise and this vision, Zack Snyder's vision. People want to see this move forward. You know why? Because they finally have a stepping off point to compete with Marvel. Now, Marvel had their great 20-something odd movie run. Phenomenal. I loved it. I know there's a lot of people out there that have their critiques. Everybody does. But at the end of the day, people loved it. Successful franchise. Now they're turning the stones. They're going to a new thing. They're transitioning, as you will say. This is the time for DC to catch up. They don't have to make 20 movies now to catch up and be on pace with Avengers Endgame. They just have to jump off this hype from Justice League Snyder Cut. That's all they have to do. They have interest. They have fans interested in these characters now. Fans invested to see where the nightmare scene goes, what happens with Darkseid, all of this stuff. People are excited about a standalone Snyder or standalone Cyborg, a standalone Aquaman, a standalone Wonder Woman, a standalone Batfleck movie. People are excited for this, and now they have it. So this right here is fucking ridiculous. It makes no sense. The DCU can't replace this, but it has to go forward, and sadly, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a major step backward. You know what's a step backward? Is going to J.J. Abrams, creating a new Superman, and restarting this whole fucking thing. Making fans adjust and making fans get used to a new Superman. Let Henry Cavill walk. If this is what everybody wants, let him walk. Let him go over to MCU. Let him be successful. Let's watch MCU prosper, and let's once again watch the DC universe shit the bed. Mostly because it doesn't have a cohesive story. Well, he only had a few months to put this together, and from what I've read and from what I've watched, from what my two eyes saw on the movie screen, it was cohesive. A little jumpy here and there, a little patchy, but he put his vision together and it made sense and it was enjoyable. In truth, being better than the disjointed theoretical effort isn't anything to boast about, especially not when there are several plot holes, such as Lois and Batman outing Clark as Superman to the cops and Cyborg not being able to hack heat seeking satellites on the fly. In addition, the film's dialogue's rough. They're in an overuse of slow motion. That is Zack Snyder. Have you ever watched 300? And there are a few shoehorned cameos that just feel entirely out of place. You know, Zack Snyder, I need a drink. Zack Snyder, at the end of the day, decided to sprinkle his film with just a little fan service. Is there anything wrong with that? I'm telling you right now, that is more favorable to do than shitting on what the fans want. Do you want to be the next Star Wars? Do you want that? No, you don't. It's okay to do a little fan service. And oh, so what? There's a little rough dialogue. Name every movie. Name every movie. And then this first part, the DCU can't replace this, but as it goes forward, and sadly, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a major step backward, mostly because it doesn't have a cohesive story. In truth, being better than the disjointed theoretical effort isn't anything to boast about. It's better. It's a better movie. Isn't that what the whole thing, like, isn't that what you want? Like, your version to be a better movie? I don't understand these people's logic. I mean, it was a good movie. It was better than Joss Whedon. Yes, it's nothing to boast about because Joss Whedon's Justice League sucked ass. Zack Snyder's didn't. The fans loved it. Isn't that what a movie's meant for? Is for the fans to love and fall in love with and enjoy? Isn't that what you want when you release a movie? You think Peter Jackson released Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring? It was like, damn, this movie sucks. The fans aren't going to enjoy it. But hey, like my movie. For fuck's sakes, man. For fuck's sakes. With his cut, Snyder just pandered to people who enjoy his vision, which is made evident by the nightmare scene that comes off like an incoherent fan film. Since when was it wrong to give the fans what they want? Like I said 20 seconds ago, isn't that the point of making movies? That's why Peter Jackson wanted to make a good movie. He wanted to have the fans have fun and have the fans enjoy themselves while they watch his film. Am I missing something? Please let me know down in the comments if I'm missing something. But if I'm creating a movie, I'm making it to where, hey, I hope the fans really fucking enjoy this movie. I'm going to do everything like Rian Johnson. I'm going to do everything like Rian Johnson. I'm going to do everything the fans will hate. And I expect them to like the movie. You want to have a little fan service. You want to do things right by the fans. That's how movies are successful. That's how people enjoy watching it. They see what's going on in their head put on the big screen, and they love it. There's nothing wrong with that. Warner Bros. Knows better than to stick to this, especially because the rate of return will stay low if any movie released in theaters with an R rating. A major aspect of these movies involves selling characters like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to kids and viewers. There's no way the studio would course correct Shazam, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. The three movies that I said were good movies in the DCU. But were people excited after that? Were people excited saying, oh my God, the DCU is finally taking off? No, they weren't. Zack Snyder Cut did that. Zack Snyder Cut brought the excitement back into the fandom. Not these three movies. Shazam, I love. Aquaman, fun movie. Wonder Woman, one of my favorite superhero movies created. I loved it. There was no excitement because we knew the DCU was in shambles and we knew it was just a complete hot mess that was going nowhere. And now, if they don't decide to jump off this huge pedestal of J.J. Abrams, they're fucked. J.J. Abrams is not the future to success. Zack Snyder's vision is. Look at what the fandom is saying. Which all feature lightheartedness, humor, and warmth through something dark and gritty younger audience can't partake in. And I see this argument going around the internet about Zack Snyder's vision being too dark, Superman not being Superman, Batman killing people. I consider myself a young adult, okay? Maybe not a teenager, a kid, and I get that. But not one of these movies have been so dark to where a young toddler couldn't enjoy it. I mean, what kid doesn't love watching Batman kick ass? So what? He's dark. To me, he's a dark superhero. He's fucking Batman. He hangs in the shadows. You expect him to be Peaches and he's not going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. That's just not who Batman is. Superman, I get there's a lot of people out there that just love comic book Superman, and I get it. He is a Boy Scout. I understand Henry Cavill. But then there's been numerous times that I believe Zack Snyder has said that, hey, where Superman is now is not where he's going to end up. The Superman where he ends up might be a more familiar Superman to you guys that are diehards, to people that read comics. Just be patient. But the fact that you're trying to make DC the MCU, which it's not, they're completely two different things. And if the DC wants to take a darker tone to the movies, so be it. Look how dark The Dark Knight was with Christian Bale. That was a dark Batman. It had a dark tone to the whole movie. It was not Guardians of the Galaxy. It was not Thor Ragnarok. And you don't need that tone to be a successful superhero movie. Look at Joker. Supervillain, yes, but a dark movie. Very successful. Deadpool, light and humor. But if you don't consider cutting off heads and sticking knives through people's fucking heads, not dark. I don't know what you think. I don't understand what you're saying. There's humor in Justice League. There's warmth. Look at Cyborg rekindling his relationship with his dead father. I mean, that was warm. It got you feeling good that there was redemption for his father, that Cyborg finally forgave him, with Flash. Believing in himself, listening to what his father said. Be the best you can. And that's what happened. It's all warming into the heart. I mean, they had it. They had the lightheartedness. And sometimes when Ben Affleck's Batman cracks some jokes, to me, it doesn't fit his character. But there's lightheartedness in this movie. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice was a clear indicator of that, which is why the studio pushed the panic button. The DCU can't make the same mistake twice, especially for a movie that just applies bandages to a previous flaws. Ultimately, the barometer for success shouldn't be hashtags, mentions, retweets, and marketing metrics being a hit. And if Warner Bros. Wants to come close to its competition, inspirational and uplifting content is the way to go. So after reading all this bullshit, we found their reasoning. The person who wrote this article wants DC to be the MCU. That's all it is. That's all it is. And ultimately, the parameter for success shouldn't be hashtags, mentions, retweets. I understand to a certain extent, the director's got to do what the director's going to do. The people who write the story are going to do what they got to do. But at the same time, you do have to listen to what your fans are hashtagging or mentioning or retweeting. You have to pay attention to that. You have to give the fans what they want. What is so hard to understand? And putting bandages on a previous film. Motherfucker, if Warner Brothers was a little patient and didn't kick Zack Snyder out of the house, maybe this wouldn't have had to happen. Maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago, this would have released the vision that Snyder wanted, and we'd be in a totally different world right now. We'd be on par with MCU. I say we, but they'd be on par with MCU. If Joss Whedon's didn't release that shit version, Zack Snyder wouldn't have to release his director's cut. He wouldn't have to patch up the holes and put bandages on the flaws. That argument is completely ridiculous. In truth, Snyder's vision just doesn't feel like it can be critical or financial hit in the future. If social media hype was a thing that broke Office records, this would be a different conversation. But the DCU needs to learn from the past mistakes and push forward with a brighter universe. Learn from their past. Okay. Let's learn from their past. Let's not keep recasting Batman. Not do several Jokers. And this is coming from a guy who loved Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, if I said his name correctly. Joaquin. Whatever. Quit confusing the fan base. Now you have Robert Pattinson coming out playing Batman, and I'm super excited for it. I love Robert Pattinson. So it's like, I mean, it's double-edged sword, but you get my point. Like, quit, like the whole thing with Henry Cavill and then Michael B. Jordan and J.J. Abrams Superman. What is the point? People are in love with Henry Cavill's Superman. This is completely unnecessary. Why not move forward and continue these beloved characters after Snyder Cut? I just don't understand what Warner Brothers and this person writing this article is thinking, that it's beneficial to move on from Snyder Cut. And listen, there was flaws, there's critiques, you know, maybe it's a little sad that Snyder had to have 4 hours to make a good movie. I get it all. I understand it. But at the end of the day, a lot of fans, dare I say most fans of DC, loved this movie and got behind this movie and were excited for this movie and shit, made this movie happen. Why wouldn't you move forward with this? Is it because Warner Brothers can't swallow their pride? Well, don't swallow your pride and see where it takes you. See what J.J. Abrams will do to your DCEU, what the fuck ever, just like he did to Star Wars. Watch him do that and watch you guys fail miserably. You need to listen to your fans. I keep repeating myself. I don't know how to get it through these people's heads. Listen to your fans. Give your fans what they want, and everything will be okay. You'll always have haters. You'll always have critics. That's a part of creating. That's a part of making content. This vision could be a success. This vision could put you right up there with the MCU. You just got to roll with it. You got to swallow your pride, Warner Bros. You got to not listen to stupid-ass articles like this and do your thing. Move forward with Zack Snyder, or Disney and the MCU will. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please leave a like down below. Comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you believe that this article is saying the truth, you know, saying that they should move on and this is not the way for DC to go. And if you're interested in future content, please subscribe. And like always, guys, love yourself, love everybody. Deuces.